Welcome to Cairo, the second largest city in Africa with a rich culture and history. Cairo is a urban jungle with many people and unique things to see. Their architecture is influenced through different eras, all well preserved, teaching you about how designs and styles change over time. There is so much to do here, like exploring the unique architecture developed through centuries, or the open markets like Khan al-Khalili, founded in the 14th century. Walking through here, you will find historical buildings and experience how life was back in the day with a modern touch. With many different vendors, you can always come across some good deals and great people to chat with. But just be mindful, the alleys and streets are small here, with many people, cars, and rickshaws driving very fast without a regard for others around them. Now, to experience Cairo from the sky and see the big city and its skyline, you can head to Cairo Tower, which was at one point the tallest tower in northern Africa. It's a freestanding, lotus designed tower standing tall at 187 meters. The tower, being the tallest in Cairo, gives a beautiful view of the Nile River and vast jungle of low and high rise buildings as far as the eye can see. If it weren't for the pollution, you could probably also see the Pyramids of Giza and the deserts in the not so far distance. Next stop, across the Nile, north of Tahrir Square, near downtown Cairo, is the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, a wonderful museum which showcases many artifacts like tools, carriages, hieroglyphics on stones, sculptures, and statues, with many rock coffins, gold-made caskets, and shelves. And when I say shelves, many shelves lined up with many mummies which are either human or animal. You could also get up close with many artifacts and touch them if allowed. It was a very unique experience, which taught you a lot about ancient Egypt and gave you a first-hand experience of how they might have lived. One of the notable exhibits they had was King Tut. Unfortunately, they did not allow us to take any videos inside. But I can tell you one thing for sure. He lived a very lavish life and had a lot of gold. After checking out the museum, the next day you can make a day trip to the Pyramids of Giza, with many notable pyramids and other historical attractions like the Sphinx. The pyramids are located in a hilly desert area right off the city of Giza, which sits west of Cairo. The pyramids stand tall and are well preserved. Each stone seen on the pyramids is big, about the height as me, standing at 5 feet 10 inches. As you walk around, you will notice vent shafts for the pyramids and a unique layout of all the pyramids, older structures surrounding the pyramids. It truly is a sight to see and makes you awe at what ancient civilizations have achieved here. We also got the opportunity to go into one of the pyramids, having to climb up the pyramids a bit before going through a small entrance and a tunnel. met by another air vent and a steep incline towards the center of the pyramid. The stone inside was thick, hard, and you couldn't tell whether this was man-made or not. As you climbed up the tunnel, it began to get cooler before you came to another opening with another set of stairs to the tomb of the pharaoh, where his treasures lie and his body could be found laid to rest. Unfortunately, they cleared out everything and it was basically an empty room. Unfortunately, we were also not allowed to take a video of this area. Coming out, we checked out a few other pyramids. Some appear to be damaged from previous battles or natural decay. Much restoration has been taking place because of cooperatives like the one seen between Egypt and Japan to rebuild certain artifacts. Checking out all this history truly enlightens you, makes you think about the greater purpose of life and what could be achieved if great minds come together. Now, before we end off, we got to talk about some things that a tourist should note before going to Cairo so they're mentally prepared and they don't wreck their trip. Number one thing is, local pricing is different than foreigner pricing. Meaning, let's say you go buy a Coke, let's say you go to a local restaurant, let's say you buy a tea. Your prices are most likely going to be higher than what a local is paying. So don't fight it. If you're in an area to negotiate the price down. But that's just a sad reality of what's happening in Egypt. Number two is, when you go to the Pyramids of Giza or any tourist attraction, or if someone does realize you're a tourist, they'll follow you around. They'll be like, hey, can I take a picture of you? Can I do this for you? Or if you ask someone for directions, they'll ask for a tip after they help you out. So if someone does follow you around, ignore it or say no. Or let's say you do ask for help from someone, just be prepared that they may ask for cash or a tip. Number three is, do not ride any animal ride at the Pyramids of Giza. Because I've seen this happen multiple times during my time there, that let's say you give a prepayment to ride a camel. What's going to happen is, when it's time to get off, the ride operator is going to say, hey, you got to give me more money. You're going to be like, no, I'm not giving you more money. But what's going to happen is he's going to start fighting you. And since you're a foreigner and they're a local, they'll have a better case over you. So these are a couple of things you should be prepared for, so it doesn't really derail your mood or your trip once you go there. Because when we went there, we weren't mentally prepared for this. And it did kind of, wreck the mood here and there. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more content.